Review code provided by PCube for ladiesgamers.com. Aokana, 4 Rhythms of the Blue is a romance visual novel, and in it you play as Hinata Masaya living in a coastal town known for flight. In this world, human flight is possible with the use of gravity shoes. This has led to the creation of a co-ed sport known as flying circus. Masaya used to be a child prodigy in that sport, but at some point swore it off for life. Though not long into the story, a transfer student and his friends rope him into joining the school's FC club. He still insists on not flying and instead becomes the club's coach. The story is a mostly laid-back slice of life with a sports edge to it. In the lengthy common route, you get to know the girls better and start opening up as a person. Nothing really gets serious until you pursue a romance option. Those being Asuka, the naive and bubbly transfer student who you teach to fly, Misaki, your friend with little motivation, Mashiro, who's oddly attached to Misaki, and Rika, the girl next door with whom you've made a rather poor first impression. Of course, there's also a supporting cast that brings the story together. While there are 4 branching paths, there are very few dialogue choices, and only the ones in the final common route chapter matter. I'm usually confused by visual novels that give you minimal choices, as it makes me wonder what the point was of making it in this format. Never mind. But outside of this flaw, they've used the medium rather well. I found that they explain and commentate the sport scenes to great effect, which is important for any sport you can't actually watch, especially when it's a fictional one. I can say I've never been so interested in a made-up sport before. A lot of the talk and techniques in these scenes seems to give off a fighting game mindset. There are plenty of humorous moments in the story, getting a few chuckles out of me. I definitely enjoyed the part where they were all playing a game that sounded suspiciously like Monster Hunter, as well as emotional moments with Masaki's route making me think about certain pursuits in my own life more positively. Masaya has his own character development alongside the main girls, and occasionally you might see what is happening away from the main character, such as the other girls making friends with each other. Technically, there is no true route in the game, and things play out quite differently depending on who you go for. In one character's route, they seem to completely skip over the final tournament. With this and the romance, I found that some characters got a better story than others. In the Switch version, the H scenes were removed, but some racy dialogue is still included, as well as partial nudity. But don't worry, when you open the game it tells you that everyone's 18, even if they aren't even in their final year of high school yet. Aside from the annoyance of it being censored, the removed dialogue can make certain scenes a touch confusing. Even so, I'd still say it's only appropriate for those of age. Despite not having animated models, Aokana has some of the best visual novel presentation I've ever experienced. The character sprites are frequently moved around, and you get a great feel of where everyone is at any given time. That's also used to create some enjoyable comedic moments. The only occasion this didn't work well was when Misaki was holding certain plushes as they were not held in her hand. There's plenty of CGs in this and they're fantastic. In between chapters you might get anime-like episode previews, which I thought was cute. The visual style is a modern anime look, but it's well detailed even in the backgrounds. The best of this can be seen during FC matches where neon trails are used to depict flight paths and clashes. Occasionally the game cuts into a chibi art style for explanations or jokes. The music is much more of a standout than I'm used to in visual novels, again especially during the competitive scenes. Combined with the visual flair, this really helps you to get into the spirit of the competition. In the gallery, you'll unlock not just the CGs and all music tracks, but any FC match so you can re-watch to your heart's content. There is only Japanese voice acting, but at this price point, I think that's fair. Once you've beaten the game, there is a sprite editor allowing you to move character sprites around in a few different poses and backgrounds with editable text boxes. This could just be a me issue, but I had a problem where I would accidentally go an extra dialogue box ahead using either touchscreen or buttons, and this seemed to happen no matter what text speed I chose, but luckily you can scroll back to previous dialogue whenever you need it. In fact, you can bookmark any voice line to access later for a total of 150 if you so choose. I also found not too infrequently a flash of white light would go across some or all of the screen for no discernible reason. Otherwise it ran fine and there seemed to be no translation issues. Aokana took me over 20 hours to complete. It seems that Misaki has the longest route while the others are much shorter in comparison, which just goes to show that Misaki is best girl. Though I wish there were more meaningful dialogue options, presentation-wise Aokana shows just what you can do with a visual novel. The story is a nice change of pace with a good blend of sporting action, comedy and romance. It's also made me really wish I could fly. I give Aokana 4 Rhythms Across the Blue an 8 out of 10. Bye. Mashiro's mom's got it going on.